Playing music has been a part of my life since the very beginning. My dad started playing piano around the time that I was born, and as he was learning how to play piano, I was learning how to walk. We kind of shared this similar curiosity and synergy. I think back to the first time I came to Brooklyn, and I remember being out here when I was 19 and thinking, I think there's something cool happening here. And certainly have all these memories of all of these iconic jazz musicians that lived out here, performed. I knew I would want to come to New York, start a life as a musician, and just find my way. I felt like music was something that was so sacred in my life, and I was having to do all these other things to bolster it. I felt like if I could find maybe another path that would sort of set me free and allow the music to be sacred again and maybe no longer have a price. I remember I was working at a restaurant, and right by the subway there was a little piano store. I thought to myself, maybe I should just go in there and give it a shot. The guy offered me an apprenticeship. That was the seed to get into piano work. And ultimately the music got even closer to me than I could have imagined. Believe it or not, a lot of piano technicians do not play piano. And I do find that I bring something to the table that not a lot of technicians do, which is that musical perspective. I have to sit down at the piano as is. The piano may not be working properly, but if I can even just pluck a string and listen to the sound first, that's going to tell me if that piano is going to connect with somebody else down the line. A good friend of mine said, hey, if you decide to stay in Brooklyn, you can do something special. It was a really beautiful moment where I felt like somebody saw something in me, saw that maybe I had something to share with the world. He essentially inspired me to start the store. It felt very natural to me to name the company after my dad. My dad's name is Prosper. The spirit of the name always spoke to me. My dad is who inspired me to want to play music, to want to love music, and yeah, I couldn't think of a better name to call the company other than Prosper Pianos. When I was starting the company, I ended up going to a lot of different piano stores. I wanted to see what other people were doing. I knew that my store needed to feel like all of these pianos that I'm handpicking, each one you see is something really special. I knew when people came to my store, I wanted them to feel like they're having an experience, not so different than the experience you might have listening to Chopin or Ravel, Mozart. There's definitely something about my creative conception that feels like it's sort of rooted in the fragility of life. I'm certainly obsessed right now with a Polaroid camera that just captures one small moment in time. I think that there's something really beautiful about making art, about making music, where you get a sense that this moment is happening, and then when the pianist is done playing, it's gone forever.